Hello there, I'm Eleanor Moritz. Welcome to North West Today. The headlines this Wednesday lunchtime. A stark warning as Liverpool hospitals fill up with seriously ill COVID patients. People are urged to get the vaccine. Down by the docks, the key workers keeping a Merseyside port moving over Christmas. And we're in Seaforth for our Christmas special, where the town's lit up with festive fun. A stark warning has been put out this lunchtime that Liverpool's hospitals are filling up with seriously ill COVID patients, and health officials say many of them are young and unvaccinated. They've made a video, in fact, filmed at the Royal Hospital to show the toll that the pandemic is once again taking this Christmas. Here's Phil McCann.
Between 30 and 40. These are the ages of some of the people fighting for their lives on a COVID ward in the Royal Liverpool University Hospital.
A hard-hitting message from health officials in Liverpool this morning. They say the Omicron variant has seen a dramatic rise in COVID infections in the city, and they're warning that those who are critically ill haven't been vaccinated. It comes as the government confirmed today that the 10-day isolation period for those with COVID can be reduced with negative lateral flow tests on days 6 and 7. With the high infection rates, this has been greeted with caution.
What I would hope is that they make the decisions based on the medical evidence that's presented to them. But at some stage, it needs to take a decision, doesn't it? Whether it's going to try to arrest it, or whether we're just going to have to live with coronavirus and Omicron and any other mutations that come later.
Rail companies say the current COVID surge has led to staff shortages, and that means disruption. Many trains are delayed or cancelled ahead of the Christmas getaway.
I've had a couple in the evening that have just been totally cancelled, where the board says they're running on time, and then like 10 minutes before it's due to turn up, they announce that it's been cancelled.
My kids want to go out all the time, so like to Blackpool, and my mum lives in Wales, so they want to go and see her, and sometimes we can't.
COVID has hit every sector this Christmas. Theatres, including the Lowry in Salford, have been forced to cancel shows. And then there's football. Liverpool face the prospect of a League Cup quarter-final tonight against Leicester, with 3 of their players isolating, having tested positive for COVID.
For me, the experts are not the managers. For me, the experts are the scientists and the doctors. And we should follow their guidelines. And they should be asked. The Premier League should ask them. Not the CEOs, not the managers. They should ask them.
Yesterday, the Prime Minister said there'd be no further tightening of COVID restrictions before Christmas. But ministers wouldn't rule out further measures afterwards. Phil McCann, BBC North West Today.
Well, in other news, the Manchester City footballer Benjamin Mendy has appeared in court to face another rape charge. The 27-year-old is now accused of 8 sex offences against 5 different women, including 7 counts of rape. The number of blood donors cancelling appointments is at its highest level because of the rise in COVID infections. The Blood and Transplant Service says cancellations in the region are up over 60% on this time last year. It's urging donors to come forward. One of the world's deadliest snakes has been found by a forklift truck driver on an industrial estate in Salford. The saw-scaled viper was discovered in a shipment of bricks after surviving a 4,000-mile trip from Pakistan. It's now with the RSPCA. Now, tonight we have a special Christmas programme featuring Seaforth on Merseyside. You may remember Roger Owain selected that as a location with a pen on a map a few weeks ago. Well, key to the economy there is the Port of Liverpool. Many of the staff are key workers who will be on duty throughout the holidays, as Lindsay Prosser reports.
The MSC Doreen makes her way into port with a mixed cargo of everything from crucial NHS supplies to car parts. Her progress down the river has been monitored in the port operations room.
Royal Iris, Mersey BTS, Woodside Cruise, River South, all copied.
So you've tracked her all the way through the Liverpool Bay, down the river, and now you've got her.
Correct.
And you can watch her while you're being unloaded, and then you will watch her leave the port?
Absolutely.
The Mersey's busy shipping lanes are marked by red and green buoys.
So when you come down the river, you always come down what we call on the green side of the river, so the green buoys of the river. And traffic that depart on the port will always use the right-hand side of the river going out. So in on the greens, as we say, out on the reds.
The Doreen is one of thousands of ships which the unloading team work on regularly.
There's certain ships that'll stick in your head for right or wrong reasons, whether it be you know it's going to be a tougher job or a ship that's going to come in and be an easier job.
Ships using the deep water terminal and the port's dock system need enough clearance under them to make it in and out safely. As the Mersey has a large tidal range, this means the unloading teams work to tight deadlines.
It's our job then to ensure that when they do depart the port, we have enough water in the river in order for them to actually sail through our locks on the river and then out to sea. So it is, the timing it does need to be kind of, on point for that.
90% of the cocoa coming into the UK arrives in Liverpool. So if you're eating UK manufactured chocolate this Christmas, the chances are the cocoa for that chocolate came into this port. And meeting that demand means working throughout the festive season. Lindsay Prosser, North West Today, at the Port of Liverpool.
Well, on to another side of Seaforth now, the Christmas spirit, and it's not in short supply there, as Ian Haslam's been finding out. Many of the residents are lighting up the place, along with Santa himself.
Every Christmas, Seaforth's own Santa comes to town, and in doing so, Anthony Sweeney raises money for Alderhay Children's Hospital.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Welcome to Seaforth!
Hopefully, it's going to take me over that £2,000 mark this year.
And what does it mean to you and the family to raise that money for Alderhay? It's such an important place.
It brings joyness to my heart, knowing that money is getting used to help out the hospital wherever it's needed.
I'm really getting a good vibe here. I was really miserable before I came, and now, I'm slightly less miserable.
I think it's just because everyone's so welcoming. As a community, we all look after each other. You always seem to have someone be like, "Hey, are you all right? Merry Christmas." I mean, you go around and everyone's just lovely.
Yeah, everyone knows everyone in Seaforth, don't they?
Yeah.
And lots of them are in unofficial competition for the title of most festive home. This is Kirsty's.
It is like one big family. I think we all tend to just go out and do it just for the community, really. We've lost a few reindeers and things, so we are obviously going to have to add to that. But it usually takes around about 3 days.
3 days?
3 days, yeah.
But it's worth it.
It is.
You don't have to walk far to find more impressive decorations.
More sparkly lights and Christmas trees. Is he now in the heart of Lapland, I hear you ask? No, still in Seaforth.
Caitlin and her family are also showing sensational seasonal skills.
What is it about the people of Seaforth and the Christmas spirit here?
I don't know, but I absolutely love it. There's nothing better than Christmas, to be fair.
Is there a rivalry with other neighbours? Because there's some pretty spectacular displays.
No, not really. Just we love going around looking at everyone else's and getting a bit more motivation. Like my dad goes around, like next year we're going to have something like that.
So even more bright lights and good tidings to come. Ian Haslam, BBC North West Today.
Oh, it looks fabulous. Now, here's the weather with Sarah.
Good afternoon. Well, we're now starting to see the influence of quite a deep area of low pressure, and it is pushing a number of weather fronts across the northwest of the country. Maybe on the leading edge over the cross Pennine routes could be a little bit wintry initially, but I think mainly into this afternoon it will start to fall as rain, and some of it will be quite heavy and persistent. And it's still a chilly day today, highs of around 5 Celsius, but a milder day across the Isle of Man, and that stays quite mild overnight as well there, where we've got the clouds sort of starting to break a little bit and the rain gradually starting to ease by the early hours. A minimum temperature of around sort of 3 or 4 Celsius, but 8 Celsius for the Isle of Man, and that's the milder air that's going to be coming in through the night and into tomorrow. Again, we will see another weather front moving in, producing some heavy bursts of rain, but a much milder day temperature-wise with highs of 12 Celsius.
That's it from me for now. Roger and Owain here later. Until then, have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.